Those broadcasting stars today, broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome into our Newhouse studio show with Nicholas Whaley, Ailey Weiss, and Riley Underwood. Guys, there's been a lot going on at Syracuse on top of the hill. There's the fall sports that are wrapping up. There's the winter sports that are starting up. We're going to start off with the big one on campus. It's homecoming tomorrow for the football team. And this team is coming off a very tough game, specifically Kyle McCord.
The game against Pitt was a disaster. I don't think there's any other way of looking at it. It's just sometimes teams have bad games. It happens. So I know that there's been a decent amount of time. Obviously, that game was on a Thursday night, so there's been a little bit of a longer layoff since then. So a lot of time to just recoup, get things back together. I mean, the season's not over by any stretch of the imagination. Teams 5-2 can become bowl eligible tomorrow, finally back in the dome after over a month. So you know what, things happen, and there were still positives to take, I think, from the Pitt game. I think just realistically the defense was really good if it wasn't for the interceptions. So and I think that's a real good positive to take. But yeah, no, obviously it was definitely a disappointment.
Well, Fran Brown even said in his press conference, he pulled Kyle aside. The two of them were having a bit of an intimate conversation on the sidelines during that game. And he was saying that he told him, he's like, everyone has bad games. The ball literally fell into one of the Pitt defenders' hands. He was laying on the ground, and that was just the type of night that they were having.
Well, I mean, that's also just one of 5 interceptions, 3 of them pick sixes. I mean, you're never going to win a game when you're allowing 41 points and their defense scored actually more than their offense. So you're never going to win a game like that. And it's one thing, the interceptions, but it's also the running game. They just haven't been able to get that going. We know Kyle McCord is going to throw for 300 yards every game. He does it every game. It's done it every game this season. That's going to happen whether he's throwing 0 touchdowns and 5 interceptions or he's throwing 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He's going for 300 yards in the air. People know that Syracuse is going to pass the ball, but they know that, and so they're going to pack the middle of the field and make him throw it, and because they know they're not going to run it. LaQuint Allen, 2 yards a carry. Yeah, you can't have that happen. And we've been seeing it time and time again where just the rushing game really hasn't been going on. There's only really one facet to the offense.
And doesn't it also see that Pitt team was unbelievably good? It probably is one of the most underrated in all the top 25 teams.
You can't take away from their talent as well.
It was going to be a tough game no matter what. Obviously, I think most of Q's Nation wanted it to be a lot closer, but it's just bad games happen, and Kyle McCord has never had a performance like that in his whole collegiate career. So it's just guys have bad games, and when you're as influential as Kyle McCord is to a team, it's going to have that kind of effect. And look, this Virginia Tech game is going to be very, very. It's a big game. It's a VT team that could have had a couple ranked wins by now, so I think it's going to be exciting.
I think they really need to use LaQuint Allen more. He is too talented of a player to only be getting very little yardage. You were saying, what, 2 yards a carry? He has to contribute more to that, but he also needs to be given the opportunity to do so, which means that McCord needs to be completing those throws to Gadsden or Pena, and then that will open up the middle of the field for Allen to run up the middle, or even fake up the middle and then go out to the wing, find that open space. He's really shifty and good at making those quick cuts. He's able to create that space for himself. He's a big guy. He can bulldoze over people too. So just let him run.
I mean, he's also
cheesy as that sounds. Let the running back run.
He's also a receiving back, so I think that's where as much as he's good on the ground, just as coming from the backfield. I think his big strength is also as a receiving back. So, but you're absolutely right. And you mentioned only 2 yards per carry is a big issue. But it's just not the way the offense is structured. So, and I think there's so much emphasis on the passing game anyway. So it makes it difficult to to have those efficient reps, just in practice and also during games to play on the ground.
And I think I'd like to see Yassine Willis a little bit more, especially in those short yardage situations where you only need 2-3 yards to go to get the first down. Just let the big guy bulldoze over people. I don't think he's been getting enough carries recently, and that takes some weight off of LaQuinn Allen too, because he doesn't have to be the big power back. He can be that elusive pass catching back. I think this is a time where you could utilize those two different running backs and kind of give defenses a different look of what they're facing.
I also want to point out, Fran Brown took a lot of the criticism that he was receiving, and he didn't blame it all on his team. He took a lot of that and was saying, you know what, we all had a bad game, from the O-line to the quarterback to the running back to the coaching staff. And you have to applaud him for that. I feel like there's a lot of coaches, especially at high-level college football programs, who will blame a lot of the players, and they don't take enough credit themselves. And he does a really good job taking accountability.
I think that shows just the direction that Fran Brown has taken this program, and just it is a team sport at the end of the day. As influential as one position may be, it's all about what the guys in front of you do, is what the guys in the backfield are going to do, what the guys downfield are going to do, who's going to come in off the sideline, the kicking team, special teams. It's everything adds up at the end of the day. It's the little things. Yep. And I think Fran Brown has done an unbelievable job at just keeping things in house as well, and just and taking everything as a team and taking the brunt of any of the criticism that his team may receive, because he wants to protect his team. And I think that's a really good coaching motive. I think
the Virginia Tech game is going to be a real good gauge of how this team is going to perform the rest of the season, because when you just got pummeled on the road, you finally get to come back to the Dome, place you haven't been in over a month, and play a Virginia Tech team that's not bad. They're not great, but it's a team you should be able to beat. But it's also a team that could easily beat you if you let them. I mean, they've won 3 straight. They have a really exciting quarterback, Kyron Drones. He hadn't had the. I mean, their offense isn't going to beat you through the air, but he's really fun to watch, and he's going to beat you with his legs if he has to.
They've lost to a few teams where they could have easily won that Miami game, where they had a final touchdown play overturned, which I remember watching that game. I was very questionable. I think VT probably should have won that game, and lost to a Vanderbilt team in overtime that was in the top 25. Still is in the top 25, I believe, unless that got changed this week. But this is a team that is good, and just beating a Boston College team that's also been testing a lot of really good top 25 teams this season so far. I think it's going to be a really tough game for the Cuse.
Well, it's going to be an absolutely packed dome. It's going to be a loud house. It's homecoming weekend. Very excited to go to. Are you guys going to the game?
I don't know yet.
What?
I don't know.
It's homecoming, Wheelie. You have to go.
Okay. It's a 12 o'clock game.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm doing the men's game, the men's soccer game.
Oh, okay.
I just gotta see what happens.
Okay,
maybe.
okay.
I'm going.
You'll be there. Okay.
And we're. I mean, one thing also you've seen with Fran Brown, he keeps the uniforms traditional. He's not changing it up. We're not going to see the Great Pumpkin all oranges for the for the Halloween game. But what do you just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that, because I think they got the regular uniforms pretty sharp, but they're wearing the same ones every time. Something we haven't seen under Dino Babers.
I mean, it's interesting. I think
maybe he's superstitious.
Well, sports is a very superstitious realm, so
Oh,
I feel like
well.
I see it. I think it's cool. And it's funny that they have performed better in the Navy uniforms than they have.
I
in
like
the
those
others.
ones. Those ones look clean.
I do like the whites though. The white tops are cool. I don't know if I like the way the orange.
They do look like pumpkins.
The all orange. I don't know.
I kind of like the all orange.
I think it's just too
I'm not
much.
I'm not a fan though of when they wear the white helmets at home. I'm not a fan of that.
The helmets have to match the jersey.
Well, I mean, they match, but I'm just not a fan of wearing if you have I think the orange helmet always looks better, especially on the road if you're wearing blue or orange jerseys.
Yeah, I agree with that. Nah, but
I'm interested. So what do you guys think they're going to wear tomorrow?
No, they've already announced that they're wearing the regular orange, blue, orange.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and I think ever since they made the change to those unis, I think they've looked really, really good. I mean, I think most of the uniforms on campus are really, really good these days.
Yeah, I like those. I think those basketball.
All right, what
ones
do you
are
think the
good.
worst ones on campus are?
Okay, we can't.
Worst ones.
Worst one.
Yep.
That's just cruel.
Or maybe you're not your cup of tea. I like all of them. All of them are cool. They're all different. But what's your?
I can't say, bro. Like,
Okay, fine.
You know, because I really like the men's soccer uniforms, but like they're just a little. It's just a little too.
They've also had them for a long time.
They're
like they've had them for a couple seasons. I feel like they could change them up a little.
They've had the stripes have been there for years.
Yeah.
For men's soccer, so like there maybe needs to be a little bit of a change, a little revamp.
Yeah.
I do think the men's football helmets are really.
Yeah,
nice
I like
now.
the shiny
the little stripe down the middle.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
A little bit of extra.
All right. Well, this hour of Newhouse Afternoon is powered by Drivers Village Cicero, so go to dmvoffers.com for more info. And on the other side of the break, we're going to be talking about some of those winter sports that are starting up.
Yeah. The DMV offers.
No one wants to go to the DMV.
Sorry if that was super loud. I just coughed. Steven, hi.
That's his parents.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Okay. Ready to talk hoops?
Yeah, we can talk hoops.
We got anyone in our comments?
We'll see. Why is my chat not coming up?
What?
Nah, nothing right now.
Whatever, guys. It's fine. Well, my parents told me they were tuning in, so.
Hey.
Hi, Mom and Dad, if you're there.
I'm like so tired today.
Really?
Like I did go to sleep like 3 a.m. So
Attaboy.
That probably doesn't help.
Halloween, spooky season. What was everyone's costume?
Nick, what were you on for Halloween?
I was a Greek god. It was a couple's costume, so
I would assume so.
So you wore like a
toga?
White thing?
Yeah.
Did you wear like
Let me
was
see.
it just like
No.
Yeah, pull up the pictures, come
I
on.
refuse.
Well, your girlfriend will probably post it, so I'll just wait for those to come up on her
No, you
account
should
then.
just show us now.
No.
We'll be checking his tag to the next couple
No,
days.
please. That was my least
favorite?
Least favorite. Of
So what's the lineup? What do you have tonight?
Tonight is a banana costume. It's like me and my roommates. We always we have a group of bananas every year. So.
And what's Saturday?
And then Saturday is another couple's costume. She's a bunny and I'm a magician.
Oh, that's cute.
Which I
Do you have a top hat?
Yeah, it's coming today.
That's cute. That's good.
So.
Good job. Did you come up with any of these, or were these all her? Besides the banana.
He came up with
costume?
the banana.
No, I didn't come up with it.
Okay, what's your lineup? Tell everybody what you were.
Oh yeah, I was DJ from the 80s last night, lazy costume. I'm Jordy Nelson tonight. And
Are you kidding?
then I'll be Charlie Brown tomorrow, or on Saturday.
Okay.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I've lost track of the days this week. What about you, Ailey?
Well, I was in the city working the game last night, so I didn't dress up for anything. But there were some good costumes within NBC.
What game? Oh,
the Jets Texans.
Oh.
But there were a group of people that were like Minions and Gru. That was funny. There was a trio that was Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi. And they brought like a cart and they had like banana Laffy Taffies they were throwing out at people and like little mushrooms.
That's funny.
I'm trying to think what other ones.
Oh
my gosh, the tech director was a Barbie, but she like got a custom made stash and it was like Barbie tech director. It was actually really cute. I liked her costume. That was creative. But there were a bunch of good ones.
And you didn't dress up?
Mm-mm.
And the director?
I didn't know. Well, we didn't do it on like game day, which was yesterday. It was on Wednesday and I didn't know about it. So that was on me. I should have been more aware. And then I'm so tired. I don't think I'm gonna do anything tonight.
You know, the Barstool Q's, like the Halloween costume contest.
No.
You know,
There's a costume
like
contest?
they put the poll up on their
Oh
stories.
yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
I was in the Final Four my freshman year.
No way.
Yeah,
What were you?
What were you
I
freshman year?
was a football coach. I was Dino.
Oh my god.
God.
You didn't want to run it back?
No. I mean,
Wait,
I
that's
should have
really-
won. It was rigged.
Who won?
It was like this fat guy that was dressed as like a baby, like he didn't have any clothes on.
Oh no.
Wait, there was a crazy one last night. One of the fans was a man dressed up as a female lifeguard.
Oh.
Oh.
Sure, that was
Good thing it was warm out. That's all I'll say.
That was one of Nick's he was telling me about, but he wasn't sure. He wasn't.
Imagine Whaley walking around campus in that.
Yeah.
Hell.
That would be great.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Nope. Ba, ba, ba.
So we're talking about b-ball.
Oh, yeah. We can take a long time.
Back in
Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back into the Sports Media Center for another segment of Newhouse Afternoon. I'm Ailey Weiss alongside Nicholas Whaley and Riley Underwood. As promised, before the break, we're going to start talking about the winter sports going on campus because we're in that weird overlap time of the fall and the winter.
Yeah, it's crossover season.
Which means it's hectic on the hill.
And it's great.
That's a good slug line. We should use that. But so we have men's basketball. They've had a couple exhibition games. They look pretty good. I think the new transfers and the newcomers are making a statement for themselves, which is what this team really needed because it was very much the Judamans show last year with a couple accent players, and I think it's going to be more of a team game, I would say, this year.
Yeah, I think obviously it's difficult to look into two exhibition games against inferior opponents, but I think particularly against Slippery Rock, I think they were efficient. They looked like they were just it was against Clarion. It felt like there was still a lot of rust going on. But
a lot of new players too. You gotta gel.
It's gonna take more than just these two games to gel everyone together, obviously. So, but I think I was impressed with what Chris Bell was able to do in the first two games. In particular, I think Donnie Freeman, he's an athletic freak. He's unbelievable inside the paint, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I think Eddie Lampkin is already looking like a fantastic transfer, so I'm excited to see what he's brought to the table. And I mean, I'm quietly optimistic about this season. I really am.
Lampkin also showed some versatility. He's not just that big guy that's going to sit in the paint. He can move a little bit more than I think what people were anticipating that they were going to get from him. He's still a big guy. He's going to grab those rebounds. That was something that the men's team struggled with last season. We talked about that last episode. So he's going to really be that guy that they're going to rely on to get those second chance opportunities and be a big body in the paint. But he can also move around a little bit, set some screens, get that motion offense going as well.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a versatile big man. You saw him get out, shoot the three. I don't want to see him shoot that
Let
many
it fly,
threes.
big guy.
Right.
I don't want to see him shoot that many threes.
He's not going to have that much space.
But he can do it, and I think it's nice when you can have a big man that can do a lot of different things. So he can shoot the mid range. He can do some nice spin moves in the post. He's a really big guy, but he can also move like he's not that big of a guy. We saw him passing, rebounding. I think he's a really good addition, and this transfer class is the best transfer class we've seen coming into Syracuse in this small space since we've had the transfer portal. But it is the best one we've seen so far. Adrian Autry did a real nice job hitting the portal. These four guys are really going to be impactful for this team. They're four guys that can score double digits at any given night.
I know last time you were talking about Juan Carlos. He was kind of your guy to keep an eye out on for this coming season. How do you think he's been in the exhibition games?
Yeah, I thought Jaquan Carlos looked real good. He's going to be the starting point guard for this team. Double-double in the first game. Slipped off a little bit in the second game. But I thought it was interesting. He only took one shot in the game against Slippery Rock. So when we saw him score in the double figures, 14 points in the first game against Clarion, I think it's interesting because he's a guy that facilitates, but he can also score. But I thought it was interesting, kind of the game plan going in was to the second game was you're just going to facilitate. You're going to feed it to the other guys. And he didn't really get a chance to score. And, I mean, I'd like to see him take a couple more shots, and not to be selfish and take stupid shots, but he's a guy that can score. So it's not like he's going to be an efficient scorer, and he can do it inside, so he's not just chucking up threes. He's a small guy that can slither into the paint and get you some nice buckets. Especially, I'd like to see him run that pick and roll with Lampkin, too.
I think the issue last year as well is Judah was obviously an incredible athlete, and alongside JJ, I just felt like that tandem just never really fully reached its potential, just didn't work fully how we expected. And I think it was partly because both aren't a traditional facilitated under that traditional point guard. Now that you have Carlos who's come in, now you can tell he wants to make other guys better, and I think that's going to be so important when you've got guys like Donnie Freeman and Eddie Lampkin. I mean, that tandem with Lampkin in the pick and roll is going to be absolutely devastating against other teams. And I think that's going to be something that needs to be exploited throughout, because the likes of Chris Bell, he's not going to be the one that's going to be creating either. This team needed somebody who can get you good assists, and like Juan Carlos did in that opening game, get 10 assists a night. So probably maybe not every night, but like 10 assists on at least every other game on a consistent basis. That's what this team is really looking for.
Well, it felt like Chris Bell last season didn't really know where he stood on the team. Was he that shooter? Was he supposed to be the big in the paint, kind of facilitating, maybe doing some of those pick and rolls? I think now, and he's really improved on his shooting. He got a lot better at the end of last season. He was lights out. He was nailing those threes from the corner. That was his spot at the end of the season. So maybe if he can plant himself out there and be that reliable shooter that they can pass to late in the game and know that he'll knock down the shot, that's where he could really come up big for Syracuse.
Yeah, Chris Bell's he is the best shooter on this team. Maybe Elijah Moore has something to say about that. But I think we need to see a little more before that. But yeah, Chris Bell's the best returning shooter in the ACC. And all the new guys, the freshmen, the transfers, all really big. But you can't overlook the two returning leading scorers with Judah Mintz declaring for the draft. Now he's not playing professionally. But we have J.J. Starling and Chris Bell sitting right back at right behind him at 2 and 3. They were kind of the supporting cast. Now they're the guys. You can't overlook them. They've had two great exhibitions, and I think they've really stepped up their game to a new level. Where sometimes they're kind of the surrounding pieces last year, really good scorers, but now they're really, really good scorers, and they're going to be leading this team. I think they could go deep in the ACC.
I mean, this might even be a hot take, but I think not
to steal my thunder or anything.
But Chris Bell is one of the best spot up shooters I think in the ACC.
Oh, definitely.
If he's given space in the corner, he will hit those threes every single time. So, and now that you have Elijah Moore who can now come in off the bench, I mean, that outside shooting is all of a sudden like a real threat for Syracuse, something that we haven't really seen Syracuse have in quite a few seasons. So I'm excited to see that happen. I think JJ is going to have a good year as well, probably as playing the two. This roster's deep. It's really, really deep. So
Bell has a really good catch and shoot. It's a very quick release, which allows him to get those shots off even when someone's closing out on him. He also has the ability to take a dribble or two, create a step, maybe even take a step back and then drill the three. I mean, when you're in the corner, it's tight over there, but if he's a little bit further up on the wing, he can create a little bit of space and still take that shot as well.
Yeah, and another big guy I think that can step out and shoot is Peter Majstorovic, freshman coming in. People really didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, he flew under the radar.
It was late edition, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's starting the first exhibition game. Kind of unexpected to Syracuse fans. And now he's a guy. He's been playing around 15, 20 minutes both the exhibition games, and I think that's going to continue. The coaching staff's really high on this guy. They talked about him in the off season, and now going into it, they said he came in with something to prove. He's not a guy that's going to come in and redshirt. He's coming in fighting for minutes, and clearly that's what he's done because he is playing the 4 and he can play the 5 too. I think that's going to be an area where Syracuse succeeds more so than last year. Last year, the big men were a short supply. You had 6'8" Malik Brown up there playing the 5. Now you got Eddie Lampkin there, Peter Majstorovic come play there. You got 7'4" Naheem McLeod up there, and I'd like to see him do a little more. And I mean, you got Jair Davis. I think he's going to be real nice. But I mean, I'd like to see Naheem McLeod get it together a little bit. But he put it together in the Slippery Rock game. Scored a few buckets, especially that one off that nice assist from Majstorovic. But
yeah, I mean, I think that there's the fact that you can interchange what style of play you have in the paint is going to be so versatile, and it's going to be so important, especially when you get deep into the season. And if God forbid there are a few injuries throughout the season, there's options for Coach Red to make throughout the game. And also it's also what we've seen in these exhibition games. Obviously he wants to give a lot of guys opportunities, but these guys are the highest minutes against Slippery Rock was Jair Davis at 23 minutes. So he's only playing just over half the game. So I think that there's going to be a lot of change and a lot of swap. Whether that will benefit in the long run, I think, especially early in the year, it might even hurt Q's a little bit, especially obviously
trying to get into that flow.
Yeah, and especially against the opening game against Lemoyne, only second season in D1 for them. Certainly not going to be easy, especially what happened a few years ago when
Never forget.
Lemoyne beat Syracuse in an exhibition game. No one of the Dolphins really want Syracuse to forget that, but I think that's going to be interesting. And then against Colgate, the second game of the year, and definitely not easy opponents to start out the season, so it's going to be really interesting.
Well, it's evident that both of the basketball coaches had the same idea in mind, get a lot of depth on these benches, because flipping over to the women's basketball team, they recruited a lot and had big Deasia Fair. She was one of the best scorers in the country, ended up being top 5 of all time in the scorers. They don't have her anymore. So similar to the men's team, the women's team is also going to be sharing the wealth. And Coach Felicia Legette-Jack said during the media day for the women's basketball team that it's going to be really hard to scout this team because they're going to be going 10, 11 players deep in a game. You got to know everyone on this team. Whereas last year, Syracuse women's basketball had Deasia Fair. You knew you needed to guard her. Team still couldn't guard her, but they knew they needed to try to.
Yeah, I think the new guy to step up is going to be Kyra Wood. I mean, she had a good year last. We knew she was a good player. I think in the exhibition, it showed she's a really good player. I mean, she got 14 rebounds in 14 minutes.
Yeah, she's so efficient when she's out there. She knows what she's doing. She's determined to grab that ball off the glass, put it up for other rebounds, or relocate the ball, kick it out to the wing, give her guards or some other forwards an opportunity to let fly.
Yeah, and on the contrary to the men's team, I think the men's team has they got a lot of big men depth. That's their strong suit. The Syracuse team, they have a lot of guard depth. They have a lot of guys that can really distribute the ball to a person like Kyra Wood, who shot 7 for 9 and then 16 points, 14 minutes.
Well, the three-time captain is coming into this season really strong. The team votes who the captains are, and I think that says that's a big testament to her character out off the court as well as on the court. Obviously, she has a big presence on the court. She's proven that in the stats. If you watch the games, she's picking up her teammates. She's the first one to run over. She's yelling and ones. She's hyping up her teammates. She's out there working her butt off, to say the least. But I really want to keep my eye on Angelica Velez, the transfer from LSU. There was a lot of talent at LSU, so she didn't get a lot of minutes her freshman year. Now in her sophomore year, she's much more of a true point guard, which Syracuse hasn't seen in recent years. Yeah,
and we mentioned the big hole that Deasia Fair has left, I should say. I mean, she was such a important figurehead for not just last season, but just for Syracuse women's basketball in general. A real legendary college career, and that was concluded at SU. But now it's time to see who steps up. So we mentioned Kyra Wood, and I'm interested to see what Velez is able to do. And she had a decent game against Damon in that one exhibition game that they've had so far at home. So it'll be interesting. She played the most minutes, so it's clear that she's going to have a big role this season. I think Coach Jack is gonna lean into her a lot more, and I think that'll definitely motivate her to make that big step up. She was recruited by LSU for a reason, so I think it's really awesome to see that also players like that want to come play for Coach Jack. And then I mean, why wouldn't you?
Right, I would love to play for. Sign me up, put me in, Coach.
Coach FLJ is still one of the best coaches. One of the obviously rating ACC Coach of the Year, one of the best coaches in all of women's basketball. So it's really exciting to see. I'll see what Shai Hawkins is also able to do. Excited to see what she can do.
I think she's going to put up a lot of shots this year.
So I'm excited to see what she can do. Kiera Scott as well will be really exciting to see. I mean, there's also a youthful energy to the team. I feel. I mean, they have nothing to lose. There's no expectations on this team right now. When you lose one of the best players to ever play in women's college basketball, no one really knows what to expect. And I think that Syracuse is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I really do feel.
Well, I don't want to base too much off of their exhibition game because Georgia Woolley wasn't even dressed for that game. She didn't play. She's going to have a big presence on this team. Another captain from down under. So Coach Legette-Jack loves to recruit from down there. Sophie Burrows is also from there. Freshman Madeline Potts is also from down there. So she's got her Aussies that she's been bringing in.
Yeah, and they're all shooters.
Yeah.
Too. So I think they'll be real fun to watch. But yeah, I think this team has a couple of players that can really score the ball when you're slotted for the bottom half of the ACC. Yeah, people don't think you're too tough of an opponent. So I think this team can come in, a lot of new faces, spread the ball around and score some points, D up against the bigger opponents they're going to face. I think it could be a team that's pretty dangerous.
I mean, ranked 11th in the ACC preseason poll, like just like the men's team as well. Both teams are just being doubted on.
There's a lot of question marks.
There's so many question marks. I think there's even maybe a few more question marks with the women's team, just because of the fact you're losing such an amazing player. I mean, but that's just what makes it exciting, and it makes everyone on the team that maybe who didn't have that opportunity to have more of the ball, they're gonna have a chance to step up and really show what they're made of. So I think that's a really exciting for Coach Jack and her coaching staff, and I think it's gonna be exciting. It's the first time she's had to rebuild, because a lot of she's had the transfers from Buffalo, but now she can now put all her fingertips all over this Orange program.
The men's basketball team will kick off their season in the Dome against Lemoyne on Monday, and then the next day the women's team faces Niagara in the Dome as well. So that's it for Syracuse sports for today, but on the other side of the break we're going to talk some Major League Baseball.
This is Orange Nation.
If we're talking about baseball, let me get my cap.
Oh boy.
Take it off of my meeting, because obviously Park's a big Yankee fan.
You played your cards right.
Yeah.
Hair in my eye.
Ba, 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 ba.
Need water. These commercials our breaks are so long.
Yeah, that's a I feel like I've nearly lost it. At least like I left it in my house. I was panicking because I thought I left it here. Are we talking about the World Series?
Oh yeah. Congratulations.
Damn. Do you see that they flew back on a Patriots plane?
As they should. Not that the Patriots need it.
Oh, they're ecstatic. Yeah, another ring is not going to New York.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Did you mute me?
Yeah.
What? That's rude.
You guys are touching on the microphone. It was hurting my ears.
Oh, sorry. Okay. That was great, guys. Good job.
Thanks. You too. If you could go to any concert, which one would it be? And you'd get free tickets.
Ooh, that's a good question. I really do want to see Morgan Wallen. I know that's so generic.
That's valid though.
But I've just heard such good things about his concert. I'm not a Swiftie, but her concerts look so cool. Like, they just look so well done, so I feel like that would be fun to go to, but I wouldn't know any of the songs.
Well, then I probably wouldn't pick a person I don't know any songs for
Okay,
whose
well, I can
concert I
learn.
want to go to.
You can learn. Speaking
of it, yeah, what in the world? What's yours,
I'm
Nick?
So vocally challenged also, I can't sing.
So vocally challenged.
Yeah, I am. Seriously, you don't want me to sing?
I couldn't. I mean, it's tricky because the biggest concerts I've been to is like Coldplay concert.
Ooh.
Which I mean,
are they going on tour again?
Yeah.
I think they are. My sisters keep sending it to me. They're like, let's go.
Their tickets in the United States sold out in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, there goes that idea.
Yeah, no, I was so upset.
I went to the Springsteen concert with my mom, and I didn't know anything. I knew like two of her,
You went to the one
two
at
of
the Dome?
his like major songs. Yeah, insane performer though. Like I was hypnotized the whole time. It was so fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And my mom was so happy. Like I would look over and she just has the biggest smile on her face. I was like, this is adorable.
Love it. Yeah, I don't know.
Nick, you got something in the comments. The one Mikey P says, "Did you try your best to keep calling soccer football, or did you just accept?"
It's so hard. But I correct myself on a daily basis. Like I can't say the men's football team because then everyone would think it's the wrong one.
That's what. Well, when you said that, I almost said. I get now that you're talking about soccer, but when I thought you were talking about like
Wait,
there's not a
when?
women's football team.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Talk to her.
ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back into our Newhouse Sports Media Center. I'm Ailey Weiss alongside Nicholas Whaley, who added a hat to his outfit today.
The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose.
And Riley Underwood. So, yes, we are now going to be talking about your LA Dodgers, who just won the World Series.
And yes, they did. I mean, look, I won't say I was nervous in Game 5, especially going into the 5th. Like, Garrett Cole was pitching a phenomenal game, like he did in Game 1. So it's just unbelievable the way that the Yankees just shot themselves in the foot. I mean, Aaron Judge obviously had a difficult series and had a great Game 5, and it was all for naught. So I think it shows how well built the Dodgers are. They were saying it consistently over the broadcast. They're doing the little things right. And it adds up at the end of the day. Baseball is one of those is that sport that's so unique that a star player, one or two star players, is not going to win you a World Series. It's not going to win you a championship.
Right.
That's why the Angels have struggled for so many years, is because they had two MVPs and had no pitching. So it's just one of those. It's just a real disappointment. I think if you're part of the Yankees organization, as well as you don't know if Soto's going to re-sign, you don't know if Gleyber Torres is going to re-sign. They have a lot of holes to fill. I don't want to say. I don't know if I should say.
What?
I honestly, Aaron Judge, an amazing regular season player.
Yep.
But I think he's one of the most overrated superstars in the MLB.
Well, Big Papi was talking about this on the post-game show after one of the games. I can't remember which one. But he was saying he even had a talk with Mookie during one of the series in the playoffs when he was still with the Red Sox, saying everyone pays attention to you in a hitting slump when you're in the postseason, when you're in the playoffs. There's so many games in baseball. You go through hitting slumps all the time during the regular season, but all the eyes are on you in the postseason. And you have to be able at that point to take a step back, loosen up, reevaluate what you're doing. You know you're doing everything right. You're at this level. You're that far in the season for a reason.
Yeah.
You got to kind of shake it off, get out of your own way, because at that point, that's what it is. It's in between your ears. And be able to reassess the situation and get back into your groove. But Judge just hasn't been able to do that multiple times.
I do think, I mean, I don't want to say it was Aaron Boone who, especially in Game 1, putting in Nestor Cortez was the wrong move.
Do you think they're going to bring him back?
Yeah. Aaron Boone's he's a
He took it to the
talker.
World Series.
Took it to the World
I don't
Series.
like that talk. Talking about firing a guy after
I
I
do think the Yankee fans out there that are calling for Aaron Boone to be
I don't
fired,
get
for
it.
Cashman to be fired, and for the team to be sold. Obviously, it's a bit hyperbole, but look, I know that there's a fair bit of emotion involved. I honestly do feel that Aaron Boone is a decent manager. He made a couple mistakes, but it's also, you cannot. Baseball is such a sport. You cannot predict. Freddie Freeman, who has gone through one of the toughest years
Lit it up.
ever, and has had to have his son have suffer a horrible disease and has had to learn how to all his motor skills again. And the fact that he broke a record for consecutive home runs in World Series games, broke the franchise record for RBIs in 5 games in a World Series. I mean, it was that. I think that walk-off home run, I think, just sapped the life out of the Yankees completely. It obviously
gave me goosebumps.
I mean, it was unbelievable. It was a top 3 moment, I think, in baseball history. The way it happened, the fact that it was so similar to Kirk Gibson. I mean, it's one of those feel-good sporting moments. Obviously at the expense of the Yankees, but it's just like
that's okay.
I didn't go that far, really. But I think it was a wonderful moment. The series obviously took a nosedive until Game 4, and then Game 5. It felt like I really thought the Yankees were going to come all the way back. I thought that we were going to have to go back to LA. I thought there would be a Game 6 tonight, and it obviously didn't happen. So instead, there's a parade, which I will be watching momentarily.
Well, the Yankees fans are brutal. At the Jets game last night, they were chanting, "Sell the Yankees," and when the Jets weren't producing much yesterday in the first half, they were chanting, "Sell the Jets." So I would be very intimidated to be playing on a New York sports team right now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just the fans doing New York fans doing New York fan things.
Let's go be real. Any big market team that is not
I'm not saying Boston fans are any better. Boston fans are brutal as well.
So, like, it's emotion. It's an overreaction. Passion is, yeah.
It's a word for it.
It is. It's very passionate fans. I mean, like it's the same. Like, for example, in Miami, like, if the Marlins were doing well, people would be going to their games.
Right.
Because they're not doing well, no one goes to their games. It's the same with, like, Inter Miami. If Messi wasn't there, I don't think people would be going to their games. To be quite frank, not to keep switching sports, but like it's just the way that, especially in American sports, it's I don't want to say people. It's just, if your team isn't doing well, it's easy to hate. But the Yankees had a great season. They really did.
So what do you guys think was the major downfall for them in the World Series games?
I mean,
like, where's their weak point that they should target to come back stronger next season to maybe bring another championship home, a 28th banner to...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you gotta, Nick, you might think something else, but I really think you gotta try and retain your talent. I mean, I think that everyone thinks Juan Soto's gone, but I think you should try to keep. I mean, this is a World Series team. Quit overreact. Quit saying fire everything. You made the World Series. There's 28 other teams that wish they were in your spot. It's a good team. They spend a lot of money on it, and it took them far. So yeah, I think you got to retain your talent, and I think it'll come. My
honest prediction is that Soto stays. To be honest, like he had a great season in New York. He would be in tandem, but my only question is, is he worried about being in Judge's shadow in many respects? Irrespective of performance, Aaron Judge is a captain of the Yankees. So and only him and Derek Jeter are the only captains during this century. So it's a huge deal, and it might be a big breaking point, but I don't know, maybe $600 million might be difficult to turn away from. So we'll see. I think it is deeper than that, though. I think you need to get some a little bit more bullpen relief, and I think you need a little bit more help, especially someone else behind the plate, just better for defense. I mean, Volpe's good at short, but you need one or two more two bats, because the back half of that lineup was absolutely dreadful in this series.
And I think it's one thing that kind of changed the momentum a little bit was the terrible fielding. That one play in the fifth inning, no one's covering first base. You got second baseman standing there, pitcher standing there. What are we doing? It's the World Series.
That worries me. Is that, does Garrett Cole think he's just like, is he too good to cover first base?
Yeah, why are you pointing? You're pointing at the bag. Like, I think he knows where he's supposed to go, but he's running there, and you're just standing there, not doing anything.
Especially if that's to end the inning, to keep it as 5-0. You would have got out of a bases loaded, no out jam, and obviously they they completely botched it. So, like, it was the wounds were self-inflicted, but I will happily reap the rewards.
We talked about it. The Dodgers did the little things well, and that's ultimately why they came out victorious in the World Series. I'm going to cut this one short because we have to save time for our signature segment, Hot Take, on the other side of this break. Okay. Woo!
We're gonna have a lot of time.
It's a 5-minute break. I'm only on 5 minutes.
So did you answer the concert question, Nick?
I don't think I did. What is a concert I would like to go to? It's hot. What is a concert I would want to go to? I don't know. Morgan Wallen would be kind of cool. I don't know. It's tricky though.
Have our red hot.
Jeez.
25 ounces.
I think Coldplay is the best. I think Coldplay concerts are the best concerts. I wouldn't mind going to see like go to Travis Scott concert or something like that. Like
Yeah.
just a full-on rave. You know. But I've wanted to go to a festival too at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's a
You
lot.
guys are both making sure that I put a lot in.
That's okay. You don't have to do any more than that. Yeah, that's funny.
Well, I know I poured it.
Yeah, you get me more than that, but whatever.
See, this is not okay.
No, I don't care. No, it's fine. It doesn't matter to me. What about you'd want Travis Scott?
Something like that.
What about all time? Anyone?
Oh, all time.
What about all time?
Like dead or alive.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean,
Michael Jackson.
yeah. No, yeah. That or like I go to the Beatles concert or something like that.
I was gonna make a joke about that.
Yeah. Just a band that's just obviously not around anymore. I wouldn't have minded to go to an Oasis concert, but yeah. Yeah, well they're coming back.
It's kind of random.
Oasis?
Yeah, for any concert ever.
Well, no, I'm just saying like I regret not going to the Elton John concert here. Like I went this like final time.
Yeah, for real.
It's a true point. Basically, yeah. But Jordan, have you won the national championship in college football 25 yet? Dude, yeah.
What a thunk.
I love playing that game, but sometimes like if I'm in like a rut and I just start throwing picks left, right, and center, I just get so angry. It really tests you. You can't.
You gotta throw. That's how you get
also
views.
can't reset.
You gotta start
You
going
can't
crazy
reset.
on it. That's how the people get famous.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're gonna thank me.
Yeah, that'll get the TikTok rolling.
Spend money to make money. Yeah.
Facts.
Literally.
Facts.
Nick, you should stream.
I should stream.
Yeah.
During COVID, I streamed FIFA
Really?
for a while. Yeah.
People
but,
watch.
like 7 maybe
Okay.
peak views.
Hey, I mean,
It's something.
Random people. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it was alright. But I don't play FIFA anymore. That is a horrible game. Horrible game.
You're the best.
FIFA.
I may make a video.
Why don't you like FIFA?
It's just a really bad game. It's the gameplay sucks. I used to buy it every year. Yes. It's ridiculous, and it's all pay to win. It's ridiculous. I hate it. Oh, it's rigged.
on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back into the Newhouse Sports Media Center. For the last segment of our show today, our Hot Take segment, I'll be doing the Hot Take Ailey Weiss alongside Nicholas Whaley and Riley Underwood. I've put this off long enough. It's
So what's
our
this hot
third
take
show.
gonna be? What's it gonna be?
All right, I'm getting there. You're antsy.
I'm waiting for it.
You got, no,
McCord-
whoa. You got to drink it first.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Come
sorry.
on.
Okay.
Her idea. She's cheating. Okay. Ready now?
Wow, that was a mouthful of hot sauce.
I think that was more than what right.
That was a big
No,
swing.
it was
Yeah,
not.
yes,
no, it was not.
100%.
No, it was not.
Okay. Kyle McCord bounces back. He's going to throw for 350 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's going to have a clean game.
Ooh.
So who wins?
Yeah, who wins?
I think Hughes takes it 24-21.
24-21. Okay.
So
What are you thinking?
Okay. I mean, yeah.
You guys are also pause. You guys are so dramatic. This is not that bad. Once you get it down, it's fine.
Have I ever?
Yes,
have
you
we
both
ever
complain.
complained?
Yes,
No,
you both
we
complain
haven't.
after you take
No,
it,
no,
and your mouth is watering, and you can't
I
control it.
don't.
You were coughing. I don't want to hear it from the two of you.
You must be dreaming about it or something. I don't know.
Well, we'll pull up the tapes for next time.
Go
We'll
ahead.
see who handles it the best. We should do who can keep like the straightest face when we take it.
I've never complained. I don't think Nick has either.
Yeah, no, exactly. Who's the one complaining right
You're
now?
projecting.
No one.
You're the one who's
projecting.
Yeah.
I do. I think. I do think Kyle will have a good game. I think this will be a bounce back game for the Qs. The pick game was so. My seat keeps going down.
It's like, but you keep getting shorter.
Yeah. No. Exactly. And then I think the game against Pitt, it was such a mess that there has to be a bounce back. I mean, I know for a fact those training sessions over this past week have been intense. Yes. I hope everyone's fit, ready to go. Marlo Wax should be back for this game, I'd imagine. So that'll be exciting to see him come back, give the defense a much needed boost. And I think just offense, the offense is what needs to really make that step, though. I think the defense has actually been pretty good. So. That's a hot take. I mean, I don't think it's too hot. I think because he throws about 350 every game. It is about.
Yeah, he's throwing.
I know, but the other parts, it's like a three-leg
game. All right,
it's a three-leg parlay.
It's a three-leg parlay.
You gotta work with me here.
If you could bet on college sports in New York, I would bet I would take the over on Kyle McCord every single time. I would.
Okay.
Like, I'd love to know what his line is every week.
Well, ESPN doesn't agree with you.
Well, they have the line right now is Virginia Tech 3.5-point favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that.
It'll be a close game regardless.
They just beat Boston College by 21. So and Boston College nearly were ranked not too long ago and deserve to be ranked too.
Well, I mean, McCord had 5 interceptions last game. I think in Ohio State, his whole season last year, I think he only threw 6. So he was very disappointed with his performance, rightfully so. I think he's going to really have been grinding in practice this week. He's been working close with Coach Fran Brown, and he's going to come back with a chip on his shoulder this week, wanting to prove to Orange fans, especially in the Loud House Alumni Weekend, that this is the quarterback for the Orange.
Yeah, look, it all depends on whether or not it's consistent. It's whether or not they can get down the field and put a bunch of drives together. I think your scoreline's a little low though, 24-21.
Okay. So what's your score prediction?
I was thinking 31-28.
Okay.
I'll go 31-27.
Just so he's not the same as you.
Yeah.
I think it'll be relatively high scoring.
Okay.
I think both offenses are good. Both teams have been able to perform. It's not Virginia Tech were expected to be like a pretty decent contender in the ACC this season. I think so. I think that they have a chip on their shoulder as well. I mean, VT is such a storied program in college athletics, so I think they're definitely going to want to come to the Dome and make a statement. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So yesterday, new commitment for Syracuse.
Yep.
Davion Kerr, class 2025. You know who his brother is? Davian Kerr, on the freshman on the team right now.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I don't know how you're in that household, how you're differentiating who's calling who. Davion with the O and Davian with the E.
That's that's difficult. Difficult to.
You know what? The mother was
nickname or
smart. She was smart. She can just say something and they'll both respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of you call someone to come do the dishes,
Yeah.
but one of them comes down.
Right. One of them is down to come
I
help.
remember, if you remember, Rugnet Odor, the baseball player, played for Rangers and everything, punched Jose Bautista in the mouth. His brother had the same name. And he's playing minor league.
That's
so
crazy.
like it's always kind of, I just don't. I don't
funny,
get
though.
it. I don't
At
get
least
it.
they tweaked this one a little.
Yeah,
A little bit.
Rugnet Odor, man, he was good for a while for the
and
Rangers.
his brother Rugnet.
That's hilarious. I love it.
I don't get that.
That's hilarious. I love it. But yeah. No.
So ultimately, Cuse is taking the win tomorrow.
Yes,
we think.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll call it that. Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
Well, I guess we'll see. It's supposed to be a packed dome. I know that they were sending out emails that tickets are getting low. So I know there's been a couple of sold-out games so far.
Everyone come to men's soccer tonight.
Right, men's soccer is first. It's senior night, their last home game of the season. They're up against Pitt.
Yes.
Or you can just tune in on
Whaley
ESPN
will be
Plus
on the call.
and listen to
Tune in to Whaley. That's all we have today from the Newhouse Sports Media Center on Newhouse Afternoon. Ailey Weiss, Nicholas Whaley, Riley Underwood. We'll catch you in a couple weeks.
This is Orange Nation.